Alrighty.
Round two. Let's check
Okay.
this out.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This is round two. Oh my gosh. We're getting all rusty, even though we're in week 58 of our Native Wellness Power Hours. Welcome, everyone. We're happy that you're here. My name is Jillene Joseph. I am an enrolled member of the Aani people of Fort Belknap, Montana. And my guest here, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm William Penn, and my people are from the Washington State, the Quileute tribe, and the Squaxin Island tribe. Both people of the water, salmon people, and both ocean-going societies. And that's who I am.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Thanks.
joining us.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. This is the Native Wellness Institute's response to the pandemic is by doing these daily Native Wellness Power Hours. And actually today, because of our schedule, we're doing a Native Wellness Power half hour and now like 25 minutes. Um, so we'd encourage everyone to share the live on your social media site so other people can join us. Um, we have been going since March 21st, 2020, doing our power hours. Today we're like at 300 and 18 or 19 or 20 or something like that. All of our power hours are saved on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch them. We wanted to, kind of be an anchor for folks that were going through the pandemic. We knew that an already traumatized people would be re-traumatized and re-triggered in this pandemic. And so we wanted to provide, you know, um, the consistency and the predictability being here at the same time, the same place every day. For those of you that have tuned in, we have, various speakers and workshops and all kinds of stuff. Really, we were hoping that people would take this time as well to focus on their own, wellness and healing journeys. And so we're happy that you're here. And today we've been on before talking about this, and we wanted to come on again just to offer some encouragement for our people that are healing from cancer right now. We hear lots of stories from people. It's impacted our own lives with my daughter-in-law and who is currently going through chemo, as well as another family member that was just recently diagnosed as well. And we know other stories out there. So we just wanted to share a little bit of Will's story on his healing journey from cancer. And so that's what we're doing today. So please drop a note in the chat. Where are you tuning in from today? If you have any questions, or even if you want to share your story around healing from cancer, that would be awesome. So I guess I'll just start out by asking you some questions, Will. So I call you a two-time champion, cancer survivor. So do you want to tell us a little bit about like what the second time, the most recent time that you had cancer? Do you want to just kind of start from the beginning about like what was going on and what were you experiencing?
Well, from the second time I had it, it was a little bit different than the first time. This time I had some. The first time I had lots of bruising and blood pooling, and this time I had some bruising, not as much as the first time. But this time I was bleeding from my scalp and my gums, and it looked really, really bad because like blood clots were like between my teeth and everything. It just looked unpleasant, and it was scaring the kids, and so it's just a lot of not smiling or anything like that, but and just more fatigued, and that's what I was experiencing, and going through it the first time, I kind of knew what it was, but didn't want to alarm anybody. Didn't because this person here is the most positive person that I know, and but she's been a blessing in my medicine as well. So
Well, thank you for sharing that. What I remember, they were doing yard work and he came and he showed me these bruises on his leg. And I said, this was like on a Wednesday. And I said, you probably got poked by the branches. And then I think he already knew then like what was going on. And then the next day, Thursday, he had another bruise, like right here on his chest. And again, I think he already knew, but again, I said, "Oh, he must have got poked, from a branch," because they had like pickup loads of trees and stuff they were cutting down. Well, by Friday there was like another bruise. And so then I like snapped into reality and like, okay, we need to go get it checked out. So he went in on a Friday, and then what happened?
Oh, then Friday night. Well, I had my phone on silent, so I didn't get the call at 1 o'clock in the morning from the lab people saying to get my Heine into the closest emergency room. But I called them back up the next day. It's like around 11 o'clock or so, and they told me to go to the emergency room, and so we went and went from there and got.
Well, they yeah, so they told us to get to the ER, so we go to the ER. They took more blood, they gave him blood, but nobody was saying the cancer word, right? And so I was like already praying for healing. I was like, calling my support circle, letting them know something is going on, like, please start praying for his healing. Had reached out to some other friends of mine that are healers and asked them to, start helping to help him heal. So that was like a Saturday, and then the weekend went by, and then finally it was like on Tuesday we got a call that said, "Oh, your doctor's appointment will be on Wednesday." Nobody was saying the cancer word during this whole time. And so I literally thought that when we went into the doctor's appointment and they, to do more tests, or we didn't even know what the appointment was for, I literally thought that they would take tests and say, "Oh wow, like you're healed." I literally thought that, like, that's how confident, like, my prayers were, but that's not what happened, right? Like, we go into the doctor and he walks in, he looks like Bobby Flay, like from the Food Network.
The doctor, not me. I
Yes,
don't look like Bobby Flay.
the doctor. He kind of looked like a native Bobby Flay. Anyway, so the doctor comes in and introduces himself, shakes our hands and all that, and he goes, I think he already thought someone told us that he had cancer, but nobody had this whole time. And he's like, "Okay, well, you have this kind of cancer, and we're going to admit you today, and you're going to start your treatments, tonight." And Will was just sitting there, and I was just like these tears just like fell out of my eyes, and I'm just like, whoa. I said, no one has said no one has said the C word, no one has said the cancer word. And I said, hold on, like, I just need a minute. Like, I needed a minute to like pull myself together. And Will was just sitting there like he already knew. And so then I'm just like, okay, so what do we do? And so they admitted him that evening. And then what happened?
Well, we had to go home. We had to go home, and because they told us that that morning appointment was going to be in there for a month. So we go back home, and at the same time, life happens in bundles, and our wash machine had gone kaput. So we had to go to the laundromat to have enough clothes to last for the month and everything. So and it was just all part of it, and it's like one of the blessings, and you don't sweat the small stuff. So
You don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah. One of the things I remember when we were admitted like at 4 p.m., and then by 5 p.m. they were like starting the chemo, and he was getting arsenic as well. So that started like immediately. And then and I stayed with him in his little room, or it was a nice room. It was actually a really nice room. And we were
pretty blessed.
yeah, we were pretty blessed. When people would come to visit, I would say, "Oh, welcome to our penthouse suite," because we were like up on the 14th floor, overlooking the river, and like we've seen like three or four different mountains, and it was like it was beautiful.
So shout out to what?
OHSU,
Yeah,
Oregon Health Sciences University, where he was. Um, but one of the things I remember is, if you know Will, like he he was like, he knew he was going to be healed from cancer. We both knew, right, that he was going to be healed, and we knew that the medicine, the chemo and the arsenic and everything else that they were doing was like a part of his healing, right? And that him and me and the rest of our family and friends, like we were the other part of his healing journey, right? And so up on the big whiteboard in the hospital room, I drew this big circle, and then I divided it into four equal parts. And then I put on top, I put will is number one. And on the bottom, I put live and balance. And then on the very bottom, I put the hash marks for day one, day two, day three, because we were in there for a month. And the second day, the doctor and all these teams of, people come in and they looked at the board and they're like, oh, what is that? And so I said, well, you see, this part, this represents like his physical well being, and that's what you're helping him with. And these other parts, the emotional and mental and spiritual, that's what he's working on, and I'm working on in our family and friends. And together, we're going to work to help him to heal. And the doctor he just shook his head like that, and he goes, I like that.
He's pretty cool, Dr. Trader. He was a pretty amazing guy. So I just wanted to put out there, in these times for solitude and everything, that they're not letting people to go into the hospital. So whatever you can do, if you have a family member that's in for whatever reason they're in, just call them or screen time them and just let them know that they matter. So
Yeah, that's a great suggestion.
because we learned in our traditions, we learned that water is our first medicine and our family and friends are our second medicine. So it's important to keep that contact and let them know that they matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cook them dinner, order them dinner, send them a package. So,
Care packages are awesome to receive when you're in the hospital. So
hmm
hands up
which,
to all the people that helped me on my journey. So thank you again.
yeah, we had an awesome support system. Some of them are tuning in right here. Shalea, shout out to Shalea. So what we wanted to focus on, like, were the strengths, there was a there was a day, one of the symptoms, was like feeling nauseous and all this kind of stuff. And so we had visitors one day, and like right when they came in the door, he was just like having dry heaves and stuff like that. And at first they were like, oh, like they weren't gonna come in. I go, no, that's fine, just come in. And they they I was telling them a story about another visitor that came, and when they started singing their traditional songs, it made him feel better. And our friend started singing this song, and Will's nauseous feeling like went away. And then it was just really powerful to witness. And then so our friend, he left so his wife could come, because they couldn't bring little kids up, and they had their daughter. So our friend went outside and took his daughter outside the hospital, and he sang that song and he recorded it, and then he texted it to me. So during the hospital stay, when Will would start feeling nauseous and sick, I would play that song on my phone, and it would make him feel better.
It really would.
It was just like so awesome to witness. And then another friend stopped by, we were telling them that story, so they sang some songs, and we recorded those as well. So those became part of our medicine. And so when our friend was singing, it was loud, right? And like all the people in the hospital are wondering, like, what is going on? And then after our visitors left, our nurses and different people would come in like, that was so beautiful, what was that? And it was so awesome. And then another day, because we were right on the river, and Will is a canoe person. Like these canoes came by, and they stopped in front of the hospital. I mean, we were like way up on the hill, and they're way down there. We used binoculars to see them, but they held their paddles up, like to honor Will. Like, and that was so awesome. And right when that happened, there was like doctors and technicians, whatever, all this kind of stuff in the room, and I'm all busy peeking out, Will's all peeking out, and they're like, what is going on? And so we were explaining to them and explaining like what that means when they hold their paddles up, and it was just so beautiful. And so that was pretty awesome. What else helped you? Like, what were your like sources of strength when you were in the hospital?
Just the prayers, the people stopping by, and and just knowing being surrounded by love and family, and knowing that I matter, and the keeping that positive mindset was, I always tell people, when you keep that positive mindset, no matter what you're dealing with, that truly is half the battle. So stay positive that you're going to get through it, and just I'm going to throw another request out there. There's a lot of people out there that need blood products. So
Mm, yeah, yeah.
if you can, go give blood and plasma.
Mm, yeah, good. Thank you. So I think the other thing is one of his medicines is laughter,
Oh
right?
yes.
Is laughter. And so he had lots of visitors, and we had like 3 pages of people's names that, because we wrote down everybody that came to visit him because we were so grateful. And um but they would be laughing and just sharing stories, and so we were in their healing, right? Like we weren't in there dying, we were in their healing. And the nurses would come in and they would want to join in on the laughter. And the because the floor that he was on was for um, people that had, like blood cancers and things like that. So like Will, every time he left his room, he had to wear a mask. He couldn't go outside. He couldn't leave the floor. Nobody on his floor could, right? Um, so you could tell who all the patients are because they're all wearing the masks, and some of them are looking very sickly. And then there's Will, he's out there. He could only walk around this loop like 11 laps was a mile, and so his goal was to do a marathon while he was in there. 26.3 miles or whatever. He ended up a few miles short of two
Of two
of
marathons.
two marathons. And then he would be out there walking, and he'd have his IV pull, wheeling it around and stuff. And he would pass people and he would say, "Healing looks good on you today." And they would look at him all
What are
strange.
you doing in here? Because I still had all my hair, and the power of our minds and the powers of our mindset is powerful. What I did is that I told my hair that it didn't have to listen to the doctors. It didn't have to fall out, and it's still here today. And I didn't lose. And the only parts where I lost is where it was tied on my, like I have bald spots on where my socks were at. But that's the only spot where I have bald spots at. And but the power of our mind and our mindset is truly magnificent and truly powerful, and our belief system. And I gave thanks to every time I got medicine. I gave thanks to the water. I gave thanks to the food, and to everybody that came and visited, to all the staff. And it was just, having gratitude and generosity, and those things matter, and keeping those things, especially when you're having the bad days. So
Hmm.
remembering all of our blessings. So
Yeah, I remember the day when the doctor came in. I think it was like day 2, and they were just telling him, what to expect, and things like that. And they told him, your hair will fall out, and all this other stuff. And then they left, and I remember Will was sitting on the side of his bed, and he's just like, "Hair, you don't need to fall out if you don't want to. Like, you don't have to listen to the doctors if you don't want to." And then it didn't. Like it
and
did.
and, and I told my hair I appreciated it. So
Yeah. So everyone else on the floor, like, like had lost their hair. And so that's why other patients would tell him, like, what are you doing here? You look too healthy.
there was this Hispanic guy that got in later on that same day that I did. And his wife was the translator for us, because we everybody brought us snacks and stuff, and I'd share it with him. And he's like pointing to my hair, and how come I still have hair? And I told his wife, I said, I told my hair not to fall out. He goes, well, how come you didn't tell me this from the beginning? So he could tell his hair not to fall out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the, the power of prayer. And when I asked people to pray for him, I would tell them, we don't want people to pity us because we don't need, pitiful prayers. We need strong, confident prayers. Like that's what we need. Don't pity him or don't pity us. Like we need strong, confident prayers. And so from the very get-go, we were just like, we knew that, he would be healed from cancer. So I think that mindset, right, is like really important. And so we just wanted to share these tools. We wanted to share, his story and this experience because we know other people are out there, and we know, oh gosh, we know lots of people that they have the confident prayers and they have the belief that they're going to heal, and they don't, right? Like
Yeah.
we know that's a reality as well, and that makes us even more appreciative and so blessed for his healing. And so we just wanted to share some of this today and to offer encouragement to others that are going through this, and know that always in our prayers, even if we don't know you or what your story is, that we're sending good energy and good healing prayers out there for you, for your healing journey. And Will, any final thoughts before we
Well,
end our power
the
half
the,
hour?
the other push I wanted to put out there was it used to be the match, but now it's called something else for signing up on being a bone marrow donor. But sign up for those, and it's way easier now. Before they used to have to take blood. Now all they do is do a swab, and most of us have been through the pandemic and been tested. So with the swab, it's not that. This one is just in the mouth, and they just go around your mouth and get some saliva, and that's how they do the testing and for the matches now. So sign up for that because there's a lot of people out there that could use that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the other plug I wanted to push too. So thank you guys in advance.
Mm,
My hands are up to you.
awesome. Thanks. And then we are still in a pandemic. And so when COVID first hit, the other thing that we were doing was like being really careful for Will, right, because of how his immune system was impacted by it. And now my daughter-in-law and her immune system. And so we got vaccinated, we practiced staying home and staying away from people and all of that kind of stuff. So that's another way that we can help keep ourselves safe, or others whose immune systems might not be to full par. So I just wanted to, share that as well. So we actually have another thing going on, and that's why we're just doing a native wellness power half hour today.
The other thing, if you going through this, if you're having downtime or just getting depressed, watch things that help you laugh, and that'll lift your spirits up. And laughter is always good medicine. So I encourage you to do those kind of things. So
Awesome. And Will has like 4 different laughs. I know all of his laughs. So we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We have some trainings coming up in May. We have our Youth Wellness Warrior Camp. We're doing some evening sessions in June. Please check out our website for more information. We also have our shirts. Mine says "Get Your Well On," and we have a bunch of other shirts, even some "I Am Worthy" sweatshirts. They're on our website at nativewellness.com. We want to thank and give a shout out to the Urban Indian Health Institute of the Seattle Indian Health Board. They are sponsoring our power hours this week and for many weeks. And we want to encourage everyone to check out our YouTube channel. All of our 300 and some power hours are on there. And we hope that you have a awesome rest of your day. And we will see you next time. Okay, bye.